Welcome to Elements of Mechanical Engineering Module 4. In last class, we discussed about joining process. In that, we studied about already different types of joining process such as soldering, brazing and welding. So, we'll continue today welding uh, about welding. So, we already discussed about various classification of welding process and what are the principle behind arc welding process. So today we'll discuss one more type of welding, that is called gas welding. So we already know the principle behind welding process. There will be two types of welding process. One is called fusion welding process, another one is called pressure welding process. So whatever the welding process, with the help of pressure, we have to use pressure. So such as in resistance welding, so we have to go for certain pressure. So in such case, the whatever the joining that takes place with the help of heat as well as pressure, that is nothing but pressure welding. But the gas welding is not a pressure welding, it's a fusion welding. So whatever the workpiece are joined by the application of heat. So that is the principle behind fusion welding. Now what is the difference between other type of welding with respect to gas welding? So you can see here. So gas welding, the whatever the workpiece are joined by the heat of a strong flame generated by the combustion of fuel gas and oxygen. So the heat source will be different. So if you see in case of arc welding, so whatever the heat, so that will be whatever the heat will generated with the help of circuit. And in the case of resistance welding, the whatever the heat, because of resistance offered by the material to flow of current. Similarly, in case of some new technology like such as electron beam welding or laser welding, in such cases whatever the heat, that is because of uh, radiant energy, as well as in some other welding process you have to go for heat that will get from friction. So or some vibration in case of ultrasonic vibration. So these are the different types of welding so here the gas welding, so one type of welding, whatever the heat, based on heat source that is required for the welding process to join the workpiece effectively. So that can be done with the help of combustion, by the combustion process, with the help of fuel gas and oxygen. So that is the definition of gas welding. So whatever the fuel you can use in this welding process, the mainly we have to go for this type of fuel such as acetylene, hydrogen, propane or butane. So the combustion process should happen. In this process, with the help of combustion, you will get a heat. With the help of that heat, you are going to join the workpiece. So that is the basic principle behind gas welding. The metal thus melted starts flowing along the edges where the joint is to be made. So that is main thing. A filler metal may also be used along with the whatever the flowing molten metal to fill up the cavity at the edges, because we need to make the first edge preparation in order to make a welded joint. So the filler metal also you can use in this type of welding process. Along with the flux, the cavity should be filled with the molten metal is allowed to solidify to get the strong joint. So that is nothing but principle of any welding process. So different combination of gases can be used. So there will be a lot of gas combination. So I already mentioned some of the fuel gases. So what we called as fuel gas is nothing but acetylene, hydrogen, propane, butane. So these are called fuel gases. So uh, you have to go for always mixture. You can see here a combination of two gases, so then only you can achieve gas welding process. So there will be a lot of options for you. The one you can go for the best combination is oxy acetylene. So that is nothing but oxygen plus acetylene mixture. It's also called oxy acetylene gas welding. Similarly, the one more combination, that is oxygen mixed with the hydrogen, so that is called oxyhydrogen welding. So similarly, there are many combinations, such as you can mix with the oxygen with propane or whatever it may be. So the different mixing proportion of any two gases, so that will generate different types of flames. So that also important factor. Later we'll discuss that also, what are the different types of flames that will be generated in the gas welding. So we have to study only one type of gas welding process, that is there in your syllabus, that is oxy acetylene welding. So whatever the uh, joining process, so the whatever the heat source, that is with the help of uh, combustion of acetylene fuel gas that will mix with the oxygen, so in order to uh, achieve gas welding process. So that is about basics of gas welding. So next we'll discuss about one type of gas welding process, that is oxy acetylene gas welding. This is oxyacetylene welding setup. So you can see here in the diagram. So oxyacetylene welding, so most versatile and widely used gas welding process due to its high flame temperature, around 3500 degrees Celsius you can achieve when compared to other type of gas welding process, mainly oxy hydrogen process. So in oxy hydrogen welding process, whatever the temperature in the uh, whatever the temperature, you will get around 2500 degrees Celsius. But when compared with the oxyacetylene welding, because the temperature is more in case of oxyacetylene welding, therefore this is most preferred and most popular welding process compared to oxyhydrogen welding process. About construction of oxyacetylene welding, you can see here there will be two important cylinders to store, one for oxygen and one for acetylene. So there will be two cylinder, one is smaller one and another one is a bigger one. So the bigger one is for oxygen and the smaller one for acetylene, and it's having a wall at the end, so to control the flow rate, and at the same time it may having a pressure regulator to know about what is the working pressure for this welding process. And the connection is there between the torch, that is it is also called a welding torch, to the cylinder. So there will be a connection, so that is in terms of pipes, so that is called hose is nothing but pipe. So the main function of this hose is to carry the whatever the gas separately, and there will be one torch where the two proportion of the gases that will mix inside this torch, so that is called we have a separate chamber for that one, so that is called mixing chamber. And for this torch we have control valves to regulate the whatever the incoming fuels or oxygen, so that is controlled by gas control valves. And at the end of this torch we have a torch tip. So main function of torch type. Usually the combustion takes place here, and if you ignite whatever the combustion product, that is oxygen and acetylene, so you'll get flame. So that flame or heat source is needed for welding process. So in order to join two workpiece together, so with the help of filler metal. So filler metal is usually made up of same as whatever the material used for base metals or parent metal. So you can see here weld bead. So this is about construction of oxyacetylene welding. So it consists of oxygen cylinder and acetylene cylinder. It needs valves to control the flow rate. At the same time, the pressure to control the pressure of the welding process, or pressure of the these two cylinder, and hoses or pipes, and welding torch. It's one of the important uh, requirement to achieve this welding process. And so whatever the setup that is required in order to make the proper joint. So that is we know already, we discussed in already in arc welding or any other joining process. First we have to go for joint preparation, so that also very important. And filler metals, we need filler metals in order to achieve strong joint along with flux. So that is about construction of oxyacetylene welding. So we should know about little about acetylene, because acetylene is nothing but it's a hydrocarbon. And you know already what is the chemical equation for this hydrocarbon. The chemical formula is generally C2H2. It's a hydrocarbon, and this gas is very unstable. So we have to take care of this gas. Always keep it in good conditions. So that is very important, because when the pressure exceeds 105 kilopascal, so this type of gas or hydrocarbon is very dangerous, so it may explode. So in order to avoid this one, so always you should keep this like safety point. Safety is needed. You should not keep the pressure the more than 105 kilopascal. So always the cylinder pressure should be below whatever the pressure, then only the process will be safe. So generally the safety rule you should use for handling acetylene and whatever the acetylene equipment. So that is a very important point. And one more thing, you should not subjected to any sudden shock. So, and it should be stored well away from any source of heat and sparks. So that you have to take care. So then only you can go for this type of welding process. Otherwise this is always dangerous one. So because of unstable characteristics of acetylene. So even though so if you maintain safety procedure, so nothing will happen. So that is the main safety precaution is needed to store uh, this fuel, that is acetylene fuel. So that can be stored in cylinder, and you should think that uh, so this will be whatever the safety rule you have to follow. So then only you can uh, go for this type of welding process. Now coming to the welding process, the two main initial starting welding process we have to follow. So that is one is called joint preparation. So another one is called cleaning of joint. The joint preparation involves the cutting of the edges of the two workpiece to be joined. to suitable shape so that whatever the heat would be able to penetrate to the entire depth of the workpiece. So that is called edge preparation. So that is very important in this step, because then only the heat will penetrate properly. So another one is cleaning of the joint, whatever the two workpiece to be joined, so that you have to clean properly. So in order to uh, achieve strong or good quality of joint, the surface of the two workpiece should be cleaned thoroughly, so that you have a lot of options, like you can clean the surface with help of mechanically, with help of brushes or sandpaper or any grinding process you can clean. So it may consist of impurities or scales or any rust or any paint, so that you have to remove. And one more thing, you can go for a chemical, so that is called itching process. You can use hydrochloric acid or any chemical solution such as acetonol, carbon tetrachloride, so that also you can use. And you have to make the joint ready. So you can see here, this whatever the workpiece to be joined, it should be clean, so then only you'll get a good quality of joint, and you'll get strong joint. Otherwise the whatever the joint, that will be weak. So now coming to the working. So after these two steps, that is edge preparation and cleaning, so we'll see how what is the working of this welding process, oxyacetylene welding process. We already informed, that is regarding construction of these two welding process. So there will be a two cylinder, one is oxygen and another one is acetylene cylinder. So we have a color coding for this also. Usually the oxygen is made up of black color, the oxygen cylinder. The cylinder is painted with the black color. And acetylene, so that is usually color coding is red or maroon color. So this is to identification of the cylinder easily, because we don't know what we stored inside. So if black indicates, then it is oxygen. If red indicates, red or maroon indicates the whatever the gas inside is acetylene. So by the color coding only you can identify which type of gas it is stored inside to cylinder. So that is about color coding. You can see here, see here, this is black color cylinder, and this is red color or maroon color cylinder. So this is acetylene stored, and in black color oxygen is stored. So and with help of pressure regulators, so the main function of pressure regulators, so that is usually fitted on the respective cylinder to regulate or control the pressure of the gases that will be flows always from the cylinder to welding torch. So the whatever the gas that should flow from the cylinder to welding torch, so that whatever the pressure, so that will control with the help of this valve. So that is called pressure regulator valve, or we call it as pressure regulators. So as per the requirement, what is the amount of pressure should carry from the cylinder to torch, so that will regulate or it will control. So that is the main function of pressure regulators. And coming to the torch, the main function of welding torch that is needed in the oxyacetylene welding. It is used to mix both the oxygen and acetylene gases in proper proportion. So what proportion you want in order for your application, or in order to your join, because with the help of this type of welding process, we can join different materials based on proportion. Certain proportion is used for uh, only certain materials. That's why the whatever the proportion so that we want, so that also you have to control. So if oxygen is needed more for certain materials, so you can go for more oxygen and less amount or less volume of acetylene. So that is whatever the proportions, so that will mix inside this torch and burn. So the here combustion process takes place at its tip, so that is called a torch tip. So a matchstick or spark lighter will be there. So the main function of the spark lighter, so that is used to ignite the mixture at this torch tip, and after combustion, so lot of heat will generate with the help of heat. So you'll get flame. So after combustion, whatever the flame you'll get, so that flame can be used to melt the metal at the edges. So that is the main function of this welding torch. So whatever the welding torch, it will mix us oxygen and acetylene in suitable proportion. So with the help of spark lighter, so uh, so it will ignite whatever the mixture inside, and it will produce flame. So with the help of this flame, you can go for welding process. After flame, so the whatever the metal, so that will melt in the melt between the edges of the two workpiece to be joined. So after you'll get the whatever the molten state. So after solidification time, so the two metals will join together. So that is the main working principle behind oxyacetylene welding. So whatever the temperature, uh, so that will be at the torch tape, so that will be ranges from 3200 degrees Celsius to 3300 degree Celsius. And because of this high temperature, so whatever the heat, so that will be sufficient to melt the workpiece here. And since a slight gap is usually exist between these two workpiece, a small gap will be provided during edge preparation. And a filler metal also used to supply the additional material to fill this gap. So that is the main function of filler material. And whatever the material, so that can be used for filler materials, usually the same as this base metal. Whatever the base metal or parent metal material, the same or different material also we can use for filler metal. So filler metal usually made up of either same as base metal or different than base metal, we can use as a filler metal or filler material. So the molten metal of the filler metal, so that combines with the molten metal of the workpiece. Usually the filler also melt because of whatever the heat generated by the torch, and that will mixes with the molten metal of the workpiece. So upon solidification, so you'll get a single piece, because whatever the two workpiece to be joined, so that will fuse together with the help of fusion welding, that is fusion or heat, with the help of heat. So it will make, you will get single piece of metal. So that is the main objective of oxyacetylene welding. So it's a one type of joining process, that is called welding. A proper flux also used in oxyacetylene welding. The flux is used to prevent oxidation of hot metal, because it converts the whatever the oxides or nitrates, because it will reacts with the atmospheric. So there will be a oxygen and nitrogen, so it will react. So because of chemical reactions, so there will be a slag formation. Slag is nothing but it's the reaction products, so that can be removed because so that will usually float in uh, the whatever the molten state, so molten material or molten state. So if you remove that slag, so whatever the joint you will get strong joint. So that is the main important of the flush in order to avoid the oxidation of hot metal. So if oxides or nitrates if present in the weld, so that will make the weldment weak. So you have options, different flux also you can use, different varieties of flux are available. So either you can go for sodium nitrate or sodium carbonate. So there will be a copper or copper alloy. So many uh, fluxes are there. So based on application and based on materials to be joined, so you have to select appropriate flux material. For welding of aluminum uh, or its alloy, the chloride of sodium, potassium, lithium, so barium are used as a flux material for welding of aluminum or its alloy. So usually potassium or lithium material used as a flux material. So that is about flux. The combustion, whatever the combustion takes place inside the torch, that takes place in two stages. In the first stage, what will happen? The oxygen, whatever the oxygen uses for the combustion, so that is supplied from the oxygen. So the reaction will takes place. The reaction is between acetylene and oxygen. So we'll get carbon monoxide. So after 2 volume of acetylene and 2 volume of oxygen, so we'll get 4 volume of carbon monoxide you will get. So along with the hydrogen, so that is the sorry uh, initially in the first stage what will happen, 2 volume of acetylene and 5 volume of oxygen, so it will react and you will get carbon dioxide, not carbon monoxide. You will get carbon dioxide and from uh, along with the you will get water as a substitute and you will get a lot of heat. So that will take place in the first stage. And coming to the second stage, so that again the whatever the carbon uh, hydrocarbon, that is acetylene, so that will reacts with the oxygen and you'll get carbon monoxide along with the hydrogen. So with the help of this reaction, so lot of heat is generated. So that heat is used in this process because purely the chemical reaction takes place. Whatever the heat source, so that will you will get from the chemical reaction between the oxygen and acetylene. So during this chemical reaction, so you'll get certain byproducts such as hydrogen or water, that is H2O. Now we'll next topic we'll look at about so already we discussed about combustion process. So combustion is based on different proportions, such as if equal proportion of oxygen and acetylene is used, so you'll get certain flames. Similarly, if oxygen amount is more, you will get some other type of flame. If similarly acetylene is more than oxygen, then you will get another type of flame. So now we'll see what are the different flames that produced in oxyacetylene process. The first one is neutral flame, second one is oxidizing flame, and third one is reducing flame. So neutral flame, so when the oxygen and acetylene are mixed in equal proportion, so that is called 1:1 proportion. It means that oxygen and acetylene, whatever the quantity, so that will be same 50-50% if you use oxygen as well as acetylene. So then whatever the flame you will get in this shape, so whatever the characteristics of flame, so that also we'll discuss what you mean by a neutral flame. Similarly, if the oxygen amount, so if excess of oxygen is used in the welding process, then acetylene, then we'll get oxidizing flame. So we'll see what are the characteristics of this oxidizing flame. Similarly, one more type of flame, that is reducing flame. When excess of acetylene is used, then oxygen, so you'll get one more type of flame, that is reducing flame. Now we'll discuss one by one what you mean by neutral flame, what you mean by oxidizing flame, what you mean by reducing flame, and what are the characteristics of this flame, whatever the flame produced in oxyacetylene welding. You can see here, so with the color combinations, so you will get different colors also in the flame. So now coming to the first flame, that is called neutral flame. It's not a natural flame, it is a neutral flame. So neutral flame, in the sense, we will get appearance as inner white cone and outer blue envelope flame. So that is the characteristics of neutral flame. This is called a neutral flame because it does not produce any chemical change in molten weld metal, and therefore will not oxidize or carburize the metal. So that is the main function of a neutral flame, because it is neutral. Whatever the proportions, that will be equal proportion, that is equal volume of oxygen and equal volume of acetylene are burned at the torch tip. So then we will get a neutral flame. So all the carbon supplied by the acetylene is being consumed and the combustion is complete. So because of neutral, so this flame is widely used for welding mild steel, cast iron, aluminum, copper. So and it can be used for metal cutting also. You can cut with the help of this type of flame. So this is the main advantage of neutral flame. The flame has a nicely defined inner whitish cone. So you can see here inner whitish cone, and whatever the temperature is around 3100 degree Celsius, that is 3100 degree Celsius, and outer one is bluish cone. So you can see here, this is called bluish. The inner one is outer color, and the temperature of this type of flame is around 3260 degree Celsius. So this is one type of flame, that is neutral flame, because it will not oxidize. At the same time, it will not uh, carburize the material or metal. So that is about neutral flame. Now we'll move forward another type of flame, that is called carburizing flame. So what do you mean by carburizing flame? If the volume of the oxygen to the neutral flame is reduced, so whatever the, if the excess of carbon, so carbon is related to acetylene, so excess of acetylene is used, and combustion that will take place at the torch tape. So and you'll get carburizing flame. So this is the, you can see in pictorial representation of carburizing flame. So it has three different type of zone. The first one is called inner white zone. So the temperature is around 2900 degree Celsius, that is in the cone form. Second one is intermediate red cone or red zone, and third one the outer blue cone. So this will be in the shape of cone, so that's why. So it has three separate region. The one inner one is whitish cone, so middle one is red cone, and outer one is blue cone. So you can see here the intermediate one acetylene feather, you can see. So this is the main characteristics or identification. So that is acetylene feather which exists between the inner and outer envelope. Inner and outer envelope, you can see one uh, intermediate acetylene feather. So the outer flame envelope is longer than of neutral flame, and usually brighter in color. The temperature of this type of flame is around 3065 degrees Celsius, and used for mainly hard surfacing, so welding of nickel, uh, copper alloy. So and even for some of the non-ferrous metal also, this type of flame can be used for welding process. So carburizing flame should not be employed for welding of steel, as unconsumed carbon may be introduced into the weld to produce hard and brittle deposit, because usually uh, you cannot use it for welding of steel material. So there will be a chance of certain uh, brittle deposit on the welding zone. So that's why, so this type of flame can be used for so non-ferrous metal. So mainly that is nickel copper alloy, we call it as monel material. So then we can use reducing flame, or we call it as carburizing flame. So the last one, so that is one more one, oxidizing flame. So oxidizing flame, so we already know about neutral flame and reducing flame. So when the oxygen amount, so it is more than acetylene amount or volume. So and whatever the combustion that will takes place, and at the torch tip, if you ignite that one, so you will get oxidizing flame. So how will get oxidizing flame? So if you ignite, so more amount of oxygen, so that should react with the less amount of acetylene, then you will get oxidizing flame. So that is about oxidizing flame. You can see here this is called oxidizing flame. So there will be two regions. So one is inner white cone, and temperature is around 3300 degrees Celsius, and outer blue cone. So you can see here whatever the temperature range that is for oxidizing flame, that is very high. So this is always we can say hotter than any other type of flames, due to excess of oxygen, so that will present in the uh, proportions. So because of this, the temperature to rise is very high, and temperature is around 3300 degrees Celsius to 3500 degrees Celsius. So and almost whatever the inner whitish cone, that is as compared to neutral flame, whatever the nature will be same, but here you will get a shorter cone as compared to neutral whitish cone. So and this type of flame is used in a special application of welding copper based material, so as well as zinc based metals. So and again it cannot be used for steel. If you use for steel, so there will be a oxidation takes place, and again whatever the joint, that will not get strong joint if you use oxidizing flame in case for steel material. So that's why uh, oxidizing flame you cannot use it for uh, steel material. So that's why this type of flame will be helpful for copper based metals as well as zinc based metals. So that is about different flames. So you should know all the temperature with respect to different types of flames, that is very important. And what is the color, because you can see in the neutral cone, so there will be a white inner whitish cone and outer blue cone. Similarly, in carburizing flame there will be a one intermediate feather, there will be a three region. So everything you should know about flames, because this is one of the important question in the welding process, that is oxy acetylene flames. The main chemical reaction, so that is takes place while burning of acetylene. So the chemical reaction is when 2 volume of acetylene, so that is mixes with the 5 volume of oxygen, so you'll get heat, lot of heat, along with the you'll get water and H2O as a byproduct, along with the carbon dioxide. So that is the main reaction takes place inside the combustion chamber, that is the reaction between the acetylene and oxygen. So then only you will get a lot of heat, and that heat can be used for joining process. You already know this about oxyacetylene welding. So now we'll move forward. I'll see what are the advantage, disadvantage of this type of welding process. Now coming to the advantage, the process is very simple and inexpensive. So this process is very simple because it needs only two cylinder, and whatever the mixing takes place in the torch. So that's why the process is very simple. And so whatever the cost wise, so whatever the cost needed for this type of welding is much lesser as compared to other type of welding process, because in arc welding and all, so it needs circuits and all, so it takes more cost. So here only the combustion takes place. If you ignite whatever the two mixtures, that is acetylene and oxygen, so this process is simple and inexpensive. And second one, eliminates skilled operator. So skilled operator is not required. So because with the help of a welding torch anybody can weld, because whatever the flame you will get, and temperature of the flame can be controlled depending on the thickness and type of the material being welded. So that is one of the important advantage of any gas welding. So you have control over flame. It means that you can change the proportion. So if you want a thicker material, so you can go for more amount of oxygen. Similarly, if you are using certain material, so then you can go for separate type of flames, like either you can go for oxidizing flame, or you can go for neutral flame, or you can go for carburizing flame. So based on material being welded, so if steel means you cannot go for oxidizing flame. So you should know different types of flame characteristics, then only you can go for welding. So this is one of the important advantage of oxyacetylene welding. Now coming to the disadvantage, so acetylene gas is slightly costlier. So even though whatever the setup, that will be uh, inexpensive, but one of the main constituent for this type of welding is acetylene. So the cost of this gas is slightly higher, so that's why this comes under disadvantage part and not suitable for thick and high melting point metals. So usually thickness you can control up to certain level, but not suitable for thicker and whatever the high melting point metals, because whatever the temperatures, so that will around 3500 degree Celsius, you will not get more than that. So that's why, so some of the material, so that will be very thick, at that case the melting temperature is also high in such cases. So this type of welding process is not suitable. And refractory metals like tungsten, molybdenum, and reactive metals like zirconium, titanium cannot be gas welded. Certain uh, metals, so you cannot weld, such as tungsten, molybdenum, because of reactive nature, so it may lead to whatever danger. So that's why these metals cannot be joined with the help of gas weld process. And last one, acetylene gas is highly explosive, hence precaution should be taken during its storage and welding. So this is also one of the important disadvantage wherever the extreme hot conditions, so you cannot use this type of gas, that is acetylene gas, because it is highly explosive. This gas is always unstable, so that's why you have to uh, go for safety precaution, then only you can go for this type of welding. So now coming to the comparison between welding and soldering and brazing, because usually you can compare, because this is a high heat application and this is for a low heat application. So and whatever the joint, so that comes under soldering and brazing, so that is limited. It means that weak joint as compared with the welding joint, so we can make a certain comparison between the welding and soldering or brazing, because these two act as almost similar, because its temperature is around 450 degree Celsius. So the first description, that is melting temperature, it is a high temperature process where the base metals are heated above their melting temperature. So one of the important factor you should know about, the base metals are heated above their melting temperature, so that is only possible in welding. Soldering is always a low temperature process where the base metal are not melted, because only the filler metal will melt. So that is the main difference between the welding and soldering or brazing. In soldering and brazing, the base metal that will not melt, you are going to melt only filler metal, and whatever the gap between the two workpiece, that will be filled with the help of capillary actions, and only the uh, filler metal is going to melt. In case of soldering, the solder will melt. In case of brazing, the spelter will melt, and that will fill the gap between the workpiece. So that is the main difference. But in case of welding, always the base metal also will melt between the edge between the two workpiece. And second one, filler metal. The filler metal used is made up of same material as that of base metal. In most of the welding process, whatever the filler metal that is used is almost same as base metal, but the filler metal used always different than base metal in case of soldering or brazing. So that is second comparison between the welding and soldering or brazing. Now third one, the formation of the weld joint. The joint is formed by solidification of the molten metal with molten metal of base metal. So that is the uh, formation of the weld joint. Here joint is formed by the diffusion of the molten filler metal. So that is nothing but diffusion process of the molten filler metal. Here the molten metal with molten metal of base metal. And fourth one, strength of the joint. The strength of the joint that is obtained in case of welding is always stronger than parent metal. The strength of the joint obtained is very low as compared to welding. So that's why whenever the strong joint, always you have to go for welding process. Then coming to the fifth description, that is heat affected zone. So heat affected zone is nothing but process carried out at high temperature, the metal adjacent to weld portion, so that is called heat affected zone. So that will be considerable remark in case of welding. So that is certain uh, zone, so that also affected by heat, so that is usually adjacent to the weld portion, but heat affected zone is negligible as the process carried out at low temperature, because in welding whatever the temperature is very high, so that's why, so there will be a heat affected zone that is adjacent to the welding zone, but so that will be negligible, or there is no heat affected zone at all in case of soldering or brazing because of low temperature process. Now sixth one, surface finish. It requires finishing operation like grinding and filing. So joint cannot be used without finishing operation. So if soldering and brazing we consider as a clean joint, so it doesn't require any uh, extra operations such as grinding or filing, but for welding always the secondary operations are needed, such as grinding or filling filing. So uh, filing has to uh, do in welding, because there will be a formation of small uh, beads, so that you have to remove some unwanted slag materials also that will forms, because the flux that will reacts with the whatever the oxides that will form a impurities, that impurity also you have to remove, so that can be done with the help of filing or grinding. And compared to the application, so used for fabrication and structure application, usually for thicker material, so welding is a preferable one. And whenever the thickness and the low temperature application, and the temperature is around less than 1000 degrees Celsius, then we can go for brazing. And the temperature is around less than 450 degrees Celsius, then we can go for soldering. But in case of welding, so always you can go for temperature usually more than 1500 degree Celsius, then we can go for welding process. So that is different application for welding as well as soldering. The soldering is usually for electronic purpose, that is for PCB, printed circuit boards, and sheet metal, so and some of the pipe, so that can be joined with the help of brazing. But all the fabrication and the structural work, so that can be done with the help of welding process. In next class we will discuss about again two different types of welding process, that is related to arc welding process. The one mainly TIG, that is called tungsten inert gas welding. Another one we call it as MIG, metal inert gas welding. So that we have to discuss in next class. So today we discussed only about gas welding, then we made comparison between welding and soldering and brazing. Thank you.